Hi, Elise here from Eligned, and I'm going to take you through a Fitball workout. All you're going to need is your trusty Fitball. The best way to select a Fitball is when you sit on that Fitball, you want a complete 90 degrees from your hips down to the floor. If it's a little bit high and you're out of that alignment, it's going to be a little bit awkward for you to do some of the moves. So that's the best way to choose a sizing for a Fitball. We're just going to start by warming up our hips and getting some movement in our lower back. So I just want you to start doing some big circles with that ball. Start rotating the hips. Now, Fitball is amazing for desk sitters. So if you sit at your desk all day long, I would switch up a chair every now and then, slot in that Fitball just to get some movement like this during the day. You're going to change directions here. Rotate the other way. It's just going to give you some incidental movement rather than just being stagnant on that chair, and get those stagnant areas like the lower back some much needed movement. Then we're going to do some pelvic tilts in and out through this ball. Good. Rocking in and out. So we're kind of arching the back and then hunching through, and we're activating that core as well every time we're moving. Perfect. Another one that you could do at your desk would just be to bounce. And bouncing is so important because it helps drain that lymphatic system. So any kind of bouncing, whether it's a trampoline, a skipping rope, boxing, jumping on a Fitball like this, is going to move those toxins through that lymphatic system. So perfect when you maybe reading an email, which is also amazing for the eyes and the balance system, your vestibular, because you have to read whilst bouncing. Pretty difficult, but good for the brain. Good. Then what we're going to do is start activating the glutes. So what I want you to do here is roll out so that just your neck and shoulders are on this ball and your glutes are engaged, pushing those hips up into the air. Then rolling forward and back. Now what this is doing is activating our hamstrings. Your hamstrings are the last place that blood flow gets to when we're exercising. So we physically want to tell the brain, hey, listen up, because we'll be using some of these today. So just some slight rolls forward and back there to activate that hamstring. Good. Keep activating the glutes, pushing the hips up into the air. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to bring your feet together for me. That's going to make this a little bit more unstable and make it harder to hold your balance, which is going to also increase the strength in your inner thigh, your glutes and hammies. And I want you to start calf raising here. Good. So you're really going to start to feel that through the adductors, which is that inner thigh, an area where we don't get a lot of movement in. Keep going here. Keep squeezing, lifting those hips up. Definitely going to feel that in the inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs wide apart again and then drop the hips slightly down to the floor. Now this is where we're going to do some glute bridges. So we're going to squeeze up so that our head and our shoulders are on the ball, and then drop back down. Squeeze up, drop back down. Now if we want to focus on the hamstrings, you can do that by just digging your heels into the ground and taking the toes off. But we want it toes for tush and heels for hamstrings, so we want to activate that foot on the ground together. Keep going here. We're going for another 15 seconds. Up and down. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're going to stay up here, and we're going to work a bit of vision here. So I want you to keep your eyes on your thumbs and twist over to the side. So you're going to feel this through the hamstrings and the glutes because they are controlling the movement there, but you are also moving through the spine and getting a nice rotation through that spine. But try and keep your eyes fixated on your thumbnails, which is going to help with that movement also.
Starting to work some movement in that spine. Breathing deeply. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center, and you're going to come and sit back up onto your ball. Beautiful. Now those legs should feel warmed up, so we are moving on to our next one. So the legs should feel warmed up now. We're going to utilize a hamstring curl with the ball on the wall. So you will need a wall. You're going to stand about a foot in front of that ball and then place the back foot nice and flat on that ball, and I might kind of turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. Good. Then what I want you to do is either just stay here and gain your balance. This might be difficult for you. You might be wobbly. It's all about balance and vestibular here. So if that's enough for you, just breathe and gain your balance. If you want to go a little bit harder, we're going to pull that ball or draw that ball up the wall like we're doing a hamstring curl. So that's going to use this activating leg, this stabilizing leg. You're going to activate the glutes here on the left leg, but really work that hamstring on the right leg as well. And it takes a lot of balance and control to do that. So grip your feet into the ground on the stabilizing leg. Good. Get your eyes fixated on a position to help you balance a little bit more. Once you get better at the balance aspect here, you can then utilize your head in a different position. Whew. Obviously, as soon as you move that head, it's going to move your balance. Good. Beautiful. 5, 4, 3, burning, 2, 1. Woo! You can feel it in the stabilizing glute and obviously the hammy on the other side. So now we're going the other leg. I step forward with my good leg, reach back, grab onto that ball and roll the ball up the wall. Ideally, you don't want to be holding on to anything for balance because we are activating your vestibular. We want to enhance your balance. But if you do need a wall beside you, just so you know it's there, by all means, go for it. Good. Rolling that ball up, that's obviously the hardest one, or just holding that ball there and utilizing your balance. Keep going. We're going to go for another 15 seconds here. Remember, you can play with your head positions, which will increase your balance, or make the balance harder, I should say. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hammies are on fire. So we're going to do a squat for the next one. Now when we squat down, we're actually going to pass the ball as if we're passing it to someone else. That should help us get our bottom back and get a little bit of arch in that back. I know people say don't arch your back when you squat, as in don't do these ones, but when you are moving your arms, if in your brain you consciously work that arch, it will more than likely turn into a neutral back for most people because most people are quite tilted or tucked under. So what we'll be doing is as we squat down, you're going to push that ball out, bring it up, slam it on the ground. Out, slam, out, slam. Gripping your feet into the ground here. So as I come down in that squat, I'm working my shoulders, pushing that ball out, working my knees, pushing them apart. Good. Keep going. Doing most exercises here for about 30 seconds. Concentrate on just slightly giving that butt a bit of an arch, which will bring it into a nice neutral position for most people. 5. Arms are working too. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up, hold that ball out. Keep that ball out. Concentrate on driving the ribs down. Breathing the ribs down. Hold that ball. Then you're going to start twirling that ball in the air. Circling that ball. You're going to feel it in your arms. Whew. I can start to feel my arms burning. Good. Keep embracing that core as in driving the ribs down. and reverse the ball the other way. Oh yeah. Feeling the arms. Keep going. Keep those arms straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Relax down. Have a breather. Alright, our next move is going to add a little bit of mobility into our hips, but also work our hip flexors. And hip flexors are usually quite tight because they're weak, because we don't tend to use them in their end range of motion, which is right up high like this. So that's what we'll be doing now. Balance, you can have a wall here to help your balance. You're going to place one foot on the ball, and then what I want you to do, I'll come to the side so you can see me. You're going to calf raise the standing leg as you take this bent leg off the ball. So you're going to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, keep driving that knee up, 9, 10. Now what I want you to do is just drop your leg down, pushing the ball to the left, and drop down the other way, pushing to the right. So if I go here, and we're just working that stabilizing leg through balance as we do a bit of hip mobility through the opposite hip. And you can hold onto a wall to help you do that, that's fine. In and out. Mapping that hip joint, getting some different unique movement patterns happening in that hip. Keep going here, a couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're swapping sides. Alrighty, so we're calf raising on the right foot and driving the left knee up. Are we ready? Go, drive up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, then side to side with that hip. Creating some movement, changing the way we move, changes the map in the brain. Side to side, balancing. Keep going. 5, 4, this stabilizing leg should be getting a workout. 3, 2, 1. Relax down. Alright, the next one we're going to utilize our eyes, and we're going to fixate on the little dot where you fill up the Fitball. So that's where the eyes are going to fixate on, and we're never going to look away from that dot through this next exercise. So standing straight ahead, you're going to turn and hold the ball to the left, keeping your eyes on that dot. You're going to activate the core, meaning pull the ribs down slightly, bring that ball all the way to the right without moving the legs, and now the left knee comes and tries to hit that ball. So we go over, opposite knee, over, opposite knee. Keep your eyes on that dot. Depends, you can hit that ball as hard as you want with the knee. It's all about stabilizing the midsection of the body, twisting through the spine, keeping your eyes fixated on that dot. Going to work your arms as well. Keep going. Drive the ribs down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that ball out in front of you, and we're just going in and out here. So you can come all the way into the chest. I don't want to hit that microphone. So all the way in, all the way out. Let me just move that quickly so I can show you what I mean. All the way in, all the way out. Slight bend through the knee. Try not to dip back when you do this with the back. You want to imagine sitting back and sitting down. Keep going. Good, keep going. Just going to start burning that arms. Keep going. Another 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that ball above your head. Now I'm going to kneel down because I don't have room, but I want you to do this standing, and you're going up and down here, going to go up and down. So imagine I'm standing whilst doing this. Keep going, keep pushing. You're going to really feel that burn in the arms. Whew. Once again, imagine I'm standing up doing this. Good. If you obviously don't have space in your house, you can do it exactly like me and kneel and do this. Keep going. Another 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our next move, which is some squats, but we're going to try and do our squats a little bit differently than feet facing forward.
So bring your feet out as far out as you can get them.
Legs wide apart, and we're doing some really wide plie squats here. Good, we're going for 5, 4, 3, you want to rest back against that ball, 2, 1. Bring the feet slightly in, about 45 degrees, off we go. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet directly ahead for another 5. All the way down, all the way up. Grip your toes into the ground as you come up, and imagine pushing the legs apart against a resistance band. 3, 2, 1.
45 degrees in this time.
It's going to feel quite jammed up in your hip, but we're mapping this in our brain. There's no such thing as bad movement. We want our knees to move in lots of different ranges of motion. Good. Last one. And then if you can go in even further, it's going to feel weird. You don't go down as low. Good. Keep those legs in. You're going to get that quad right at the knee. Keep going. 3, 2, 1 more. Beautiful.
Now we're going to put all those together.
Okay, so each squat we move our foot into those positions. We're starting in. In, 45.
Straight, 45 out. All the way out, 45 in. Straight,
45 in. All the way in. Keep going. 45 in. Straight.
45 out. All the way out, 45 in. Straight. Come in again, 45. All the way in, and we're going to finish on the out. So keep going till we get all the way back out. Last one.
Plie. Hold down for me. Hold down. Move your feet forward. Hold down in 5, 4, 2, 1. Stand up. Good. To squeeze the ball in our inner thigh. So squeeze your knees together. Then we're going to punch down on this ball as hard as we can. Like this. As fast as you can. Keep squeezing your knees. Faster. Keep going. 15 seconds. Keep squeezing your legs together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good. Now what I want you to do is ski drive side to side. So you're going to bounce the ball and come over. If you've got a mat, either side of the mat's a good distance to aim for. Are we ready? Slam, squat. Now you can either have 2 legs on the ground when you land, or try and keep 1 leg up in the air. Side to side. Let's go. Getting that heart rate up. Play with those head positions. Make it difficult. 15 more seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, you should feel it in the glute. Right there. come down on the ground. We're going to do a little bit of a core. Stay there, doggies. Legs up in the air. You're going to bring the ball over the center, around your glutes, like that. I don't have much room here. Back over the center, around, over, around. So every time you pull that ball around in the air, on the ground, you have to do a bit of a crunch. So it's a sneaky crunch. Good. You're also working your neck. We don't tend to work the strength in our neck, which is really important because it holds up the heaviest thing in your body, which is your head. Good. Now reverse. Go the opposite way. Round and back. Around and back. Good. Around and back. 2 more of these, then we're doing some adductors. Around and back. 1 more. Around and back. Place that ball in the inside of your knees and your shins here. Now what you're doing, straightening the legs, gripping the ball, bending, straightening, bending. So what I'm trying to do is pop the ball with my legs. I'm squeezing the ball that hard that I want to try and pop the ball. Good, so grip in as hard as you can. Concentrate on sucking that belly button down to the floor. Keep going, you're going to feel this in the inner thigh. Oh, my pants are slippery, so I'm slipping everywhere. Keep going. Oh, inner thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Come on, back up into a seated position on that ball. And then you're going to start this all over again, which means our first one was rolling out into this position and working the glutes. That's where I want you to go from. So that means you now have to rewind this whole video to do a round 2. If you're called to do a round 3, go right ahead. But there's some little exercises you can do on a Fitball, especially if you're a beginner, if you're just getting into movement, if you're trying to enhance your brain and the way your brain talks to your body. I highly suggest this one.